I'm here at the Corsound Waterfowl Museum and Heritage Center on Harker's Island that was pleased to finally be able to open its doors at its permanent location that was destroyed from a hurricane in 2018. First, we're going to hear from Karen Amspacher, who has been the executive director of the Corsound Waterfowl Museum for 30 years, to tell us a little bit about some of the exhibits that you can find at the museum. Then, Pam Morris, who is the collections manager, will talk a little bit about some of her exhibits.
Of our exhibit gallery is dedicated to the future of Down East, and how we've done that is bringing together pieces of the Rising exhibition that we had here in 2018 and the Harm's Way exhibition that was here at the same time. Harm's Way was a history of hurricanes, and Rising was a look at the changing landscape of eastern North Carolina. So for the opening, we brought those two together because the thing that shut us down was Florence. And Florence has been a conversation changer in Down East Carter County. People are no longer talking about if there's another storm, but when there's another storm. Frequent high tides, constant northeasters, changing weather patterns, so hot, so early, no winter this past year. People are really beginning to take note of how this environment is changing. We, in 2018, as part of the Rising exhibition, we had a community conversation, and we included people from Maryland, all up and down the coast of North Carolina, and the fishermen, the commercial fishermen were the first ones to really tell us what is changing on the water, on the grass beds, along the shores, how the inlets are changing, how the whole entire landscape is being affected by a rising sea level.
And here you can see the Rising High Tide exhibit that Karen was just talking about. Next, she's going to talk about the Hurricane Timeline exhibit that they have right across from this one.
Everybody down east has a hurricane story. I mean, the first hurricane I remember was 1969. All my grandparents always talked about the storm of 33. My grandparents on my daddy's side moved to Harker's Island in 1899 after that major story. So in this part of the world, hurricanes have shaped us. They've shaped the land, they've shaped our communities, they've shaped who we are and how we handle things. So it's important that we keep that context in place as we look to the future, and we see how storms are coming more frequently, how they're more intense, and the changes that they're leaving behind. So it all fits together in this new exhibition that we're calling Living on the Edge.
My name is Pam Morris. I work for the Corsound Waterfowl Museum here in Harker's Island, North Carolina. And I am standing in our Corsound Heritage Gallery study Decoy Display. And in this area of our gallery, we have a lot of decoys from different communities in the Down East area that are both contemporary and old decoys. We celebrate all the Corsound carvers here, past and present. So when you come to visit us, you can compare, contrast different decoy styles. You can see what makes these birds unique and different from other areas of the country. And it does feature some of our carvers who have been recognized not only locally, but nationally and internationally as well. I just wanted to say a few words about the community exhibit displays here at the museum. Our community exhibits, as we lovingly call them, are different than most museums have in their repertoire, in that we have community people who bring their artifacts, what's important to them, to tell their own story, and we give them a space at the museum to do so. And this display that I'm standing beside belongs to the community of Smyrna. And Smyrna was an interesting community because it was a hub of business in the past right up into the present. There's a crossroads there. Used to, they had boat building there many, many years ago. But as far as what they've got on display right now are these artifacts, which came from a doctor in Smyrna, Dr. Davis. And Dr. Davis had an apothecary in his office, if you will, which I believe was in his house across from the Smyrna school. And so these are some artifacts left over from the apothecary that he had at his house. And we have a story here told by Milton Steyer from Davis that says they called him Dr. Shake It, because when he would give them medications or whatever, it being a little bottle, and they had to shake it before they take it.
And here you can see more of the communities that Pam was just talking about. There's a whole second floor dedicated to communities like Salter Path, Atlantic, and more. The museum has been open since mid-June and is urging people to get in and take a look at these exhibits for themselves. With the Carteret News-Times, I'm Caramia Valentin.